Good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Welcome to Dragon Warrior Randomizer. We have week 2 of our Winter League, Chaos Light. It's going to be interesting tonight, as always. I am CyberDark86. I'm joined tonight in the booth by Aaron22. We have Shiheli and Omega Strip tracking, and Archfield Monk restreaming. How's it going, Aaron?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
A little tired, but that's it. I'm on vacation now, so that's awesome.
I just woke up from a nap, so I can feel that.
So we have a 4th strength start tonight. We're looking for our Noodle, of course, in Chaos. That is an enemy with no abilities and about 5 HP and very low defense. Should be able to kill it, but we're hoping to find maybe a fairy water or a torch in the throne room that we can use, or a town close by that we can use some gold in.
Yeah, and with the starting strength here of 4, this is kind of worst case scenario for Chaos. There's usually less things that you can do in this than in standard seeds, so you're really hoping to find a throwable here, something that you can save the game and then just throw it at any enemy until you hit the noodle and hopefully get to level 2, which should come pretty fast on very fast experience.
Indeed. So tonight's flags are Random Monster, Stats, XP, and Gold, but they have vanilla abilities. Tri-State, meaning that we don't know until we check. Keys, Summer Sale, and Treasure Guards. So keys, we'll know shortly whether they're on or off if we find a key in the throne room. Treasure Guards, important items may have an enemy on them, even if they're in a town, maybe not. Keys are on tonight, apparently.
Yeah, and seeing a cursed belt and a fairy flute. Fairy flute almost might be worth just resetting the game over because there's almost zero chance that that's important. The cursed belt is good if you find a town that cooperates, that you can maybe sell that for some gear. With random weapon prices, there could be a lot of stuff that you could buy with 180, but this is not a great start. I wouldn't be surprised to see people really push out like cparsley is to try to find a town, because 4 strength isn't going to get you very far.
Indeed enough, we do see a cave on QuinnPatrick's side. And for Angel, but Angel finds the jerk. Hey, there's a town.
Alright, is he going to get there? He's got 1 hit point. Oh, there's a skeleton. There he is. He's made it to Garanham. Not bad.
We can indeed sell stuff here. We don't have any gold, but let's see what's in. Got 122 magic armor and 186 flame sword. I think that's what we're going to buy once we get enough gold. Won't be able to... actually, we can sell the cursed belt for 180, so he'll be able to pick up one of those right now.
Yeah, I would think hand axe and maybe some torches, because the torches might actually be more valuable than the hand axe, just for getting past the first level. But I don't know if that's on his mind. He probably forgot what the prices were. Or maybe, he could go magic armor and then torches. Like I said, the hand axe might not be super great, but it doesn't seem... He's more worried about healing up here, where you could just die and kind of be the same thing. Now, I think Angel will be the exact opposite. Yeah, he tried to sell the flute, and he's trying it again. It's still not going.
I'm sure DK approves, but Angel cannot sell the flute, unfortunately. We have had that happen at least once more during week 2.
3rd time is unfortunately not the charm. We do see Quinn come right back in, and looks like he's going to buy himself some torches now. Which again, a torch, if it lands, will auto kill any noodle. And hey, Scarletshadoww takes down a skeleton and reaches levels. Well, he's level 5. He killed somebody else right before that, but there we go. He's on the board in the experience, and that's sometimes the hardest thing to do in Chaos Seeds.
Yeah, we've seen noodles take a half hour to find, perhaps. They're usually in zone 0, 1, or 2 around the castle, so you stay close until you find you can kill something. The torch and the fairy water are very, very good in Chaos flags to try to get your start.
And Scarlet does find a pretty good enemy there, Warlock worth 142, and I think that was a one-shot. So definitely good for him to be able to do that.
So the magic armor, I approve of the purchase, but maybe the flame sword would have been better to start with if we had the money. Unfortunately, 1 cursed belt I don't think was going to get us there.
Well, it is one of the good things about Chaos stuff, at least as long as we do not have the consistent flag set is that the gold tends to go all over the place, and you usually don't have trouble making small bits of gold.
284 for something there. I missed what it was on Scarletshadoww side.
Oh, that was a Drakima. Which I believe with the vanilla abilities is going to have, is it both heal and hurt? Something like that. It's probably not going to matter. We see Angel take one out with a torch, and that's a heck of a way to get out of level 1 jail.
Omega confirming they do have heal and hurt in vanilla. cparsley, trying to figure out what he wants, doesn't have enough, 6 gold short of the flame sword, so we'll take the magic armor.
Yeah, that's been the popular choice so far. I don't think, Scarletshadoww hasn't been over there yet, but he hasn't really been hurt for it. He got out of the level 1 jail pretty quickly, and now that he has hurt more, obviously armor's nice, but he doesn't need it quite as much.
Right, hurt more coming on level 7 for all of our runners, at least the ones that have made it to level 7 so far. cparsley is picking up torches, so shouldn't have much of a problem getting out of jail shortly.
And we do see Scarlet going west again. I think he made it to that cave and died before. This Demon Knight is resistant to hurt more, unfortunately. We're just talking about, yeah, he got hurt more. He can pretty much do whatever he wants and immediately dies, of course.
321 experience on the Scorpion, and it goes down to a single torch. Rockets cparsley right up to level 7.
That's great. It's rough when you see people kind of linger on level 1 too long in chaos, but when you see something like that, then it's all even. It catches up real quick.
These are some high experience enemies. I have not seen this so far in the week 2 matches I've watched. There'd be like the odd one, but nothing like this. There's a good few here.
Yeah, Goldman worth 100, and that's been on the low end so far. I think the only pure dud I've seen, Green Dragon, was 11. I don't know, that Skeleton was 29, but that might have been the noodle.
The Axe Knight on Scarletshadow's side, of course, has Sleep. Goes down to a hurt more as normal on 207, so not bad at all.
I have seen one seed like this where the experience came super fast and there were a lot of enemies near the start that had them. And it wound up that a lot of grinding was necessary, but you didn't really see people push out too quickly. And definitely benefited the people who seemed to stick on the grind the longest.
Was that your seed by any chance?
Yes, that was mine.
I only saw parts of that. I was working on another one at the time.
There was about 8 minutes of action and about 50 minutes of grinding. But let's hope we don't have a level 24 victory condition in this one, which already looks to be completely off the table. The stats are just massive right now. Level 10 Scarletshadow's lingering low stat is 59 hit points, which is kind of a hard block hit points are, but that's also the one that tends to shoot up the highest randomly, so I wouldn't be too worried just yet.
Definitely. In Chaos, by the time you're ready to go, you're usually looking at around 150 HP. Death Necklace is not always necessary, but commonly used. Of course, our problem now is DL1, or at the end, I should say. DL1 could be very, very strong, or maybe the Spike Tile will be very, very strong, and you might need all your HP just to get through him.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you go so far as to if you just continue to sit on the grind forever just because there's no real concern about over leveling, but you're not really concerned about over leveling that much. At least if you're a little heavier than normal by the time you get all the stuff done, that's fine because maybe you just don't have to go heavy at the end of the game. But you don't all it does is kind of change your logistics, because if you're barely able to win, you might dive a little bit earlier and scout it, but if you come in super thick and easily can kill a standard Dragon Lord, you might not worry about that and just go in to win.
So Hate pointing out he was looking for a slime with 50% hurt resist, 150 HP, and 250 agility, which will make a very, very hard enemy to kill. We haven't really seen anything like that yet, but Angel has just found Hawksness, and the enemy on the Spike Tile will be picked from one of the hardest enemies that the seed has rolled. So we may see something special in here. Those Magicians also worth a whole lot there.
Yeah, if we were keeping track of like good enemies and bad enemies, the good enemy side would be really thick. So we see a Wraith. The Wraith does go down. Wait, no. Ooh, okay, that's a pretty aggressive Wraith, and I don't think Angel completely healed up. Oh wait, no, that's actually his max hit points it hit for. So perfect.
Yeah, he did stop on the tile before and used either an herb or heal, whichever. So that could be interesting. I don't think we're going to see Hoxness again for a while for Angel. Oh, the Druid hits hard. There's a good enemy. Did Scarlet not find Garenham? He bought a half plate in coal here.
I just don't think he ever went that far west. So it looks like he's going to heal up. I think he hasn't checked the search spot yet, has he? So he's probably, being careful here just in case there's a treasure guard. Doesn't want to get knocked out. And there is. It's a Starling.
One hurt more. It survives a cast heal more.
Yeah, again, vanilla abilities, they do have heal more, but they also have weak breath. And just because they used heal more initially doesn't mean they would necessarily use it again. Starting hit points could have been pretty low. So Star River, not really a good fight, but armor, great pickup.
Excellent manipulation by Scarletshadoww.
And with that armor, if he does go in the direction of Hawks, he might be able to take that sucker out in one go. Depends. I mean, we have no idea if that was a heavy hit or a weak hit from the Wraith, and we have no idea how much hit points it actually has. And Scarletshadoww is enjoying this zone too. Multiple enemies with 200 plus experience in a desert right next to the town. I think he's a little intoxicated. He eventually ran from the Magician, though. I don't think he knew about it.
No, but there are Scorpions there, and they hit 300 odd, and even the Warlock's there with 142. So, the Magicians are not as enticing, really, when you can't hurt more of them.
Yeah, normally in these sorts of seeds, you don't really want to throw out Repel because of the imbalanced nature of enemy stats. You're more likely to goof up stuff. But if you, if you are over leveled, then you can actually Repel and have just a much easier time when other players might not be doing that. Could save a lot of time in exploration.
So Angel's here in Mountain Cave, so there are 5 chests here, attacking the Drakey for 33 experience. But I just noticed he had to use the flute on a golem and run away from it. So that initial flute may be useful.
He might have just been doing it for the memes, too. I didn't see if he actually got run blocked before.
I'm not sure if he got run blocked, but he got hit for a lot.
Okay, so then there you go. I guess it's good that you didn't reset out of it because, I mean, that would have been a little silly, but it's rare that a one fairy water makes the difference in any particular race. That's about all that would be worth getting rid of it for.
X-Knights are currently going down to a single hit from the Flame Sword, which is always nice.
This wolf has been kind of a disaster. It seems like every time we see it, it's almost killing or killing people. So that's somebody to keep an eye on. That wasn't a massive hit, but that and the enemy we're probably going to see on cparsley screen here in just a second have been our biggest hitters, I think.
cparsley has 113 attack in 12 minutes.
There we go. First Hurtmore on the Wraith. Hits for 31. He goes for the Hurtmore again. That one lands. And okay, 2-shot. Not worth a lot of experience, but he does get to 1-shot this town, which is good, except there's nothing there.
Nope. Definitely not going back there anymore. The Scorpion, though, is in Hoxness. That's a good place to come back maybe and grind later on the desert tiles in there.
And so far, I didn't see everything Angel got, but I think the big one was the key. They found a key in the southeast chest there in Mountain 2. So he will have key access, and who knows if Remolder could be buried behind, keys, and that could be the only loose key, and that could be a pretty good way to accelerate the progress in the seed.
Angel hits an excellent move on that golem for 89. It hits him back for 47. Casts a Hurtmore and gets 88 experience.
I wonder if he was just fine if he got killed there. Because that was kind of a weird risk to take. But I think his exploration in this direction might be about done. And he's probably thinking load up on keys. But speaking of that, cparsley is in Keytown itself, Rimmeldar.
All the keys you want for 53 gold apiece.
And I think he found that kind of going southeast, east or south from the starting area. I think Angel's been mostly going northwest. I mean, Quinn's still kind of in the starting area here, and I have absolutely no idea where Scarletshadoww went from the start. So we've had wildly divergent paths here right at the beginning.
Scarlet picks up a large shield. It was a little bit more expensive than usual.
Well, hey, Demon Knight also worth over 200 experience. Of course, everything's got to be super big. And then we see Scarlet still sitting on this grind. Again, the hit points aren't quite there. That might be his concern, thinking about if he runs into some nasty on a spike that he has to clear or something like that, this could be worthwhile. It's really just hit points right now. The attack is almost in range with Erdrick's sword already.
Yeah, we're up to 113 with the flame sword at level 13, so level 14 is going to have another 4 on top of that. We've got, large shield 2407, so that is fairly expensive at the moment. We've not seen a silver, and I don't know if we've seen a small either.
Yeah, if I had the money, I would buy it regardless, just to make sure, but unfortunately, cparsley isn't quite packing that much dough.
Just wasted it all on keys and fairy water.
Yeah, classic story, blew your shield money on keys.
1, 3, 4, and 5, and repel on level 15. So we're up to 105 attack now with the hand axe.
Yeah, and again, we're thinking if you're fully kitted out, or at least if you got the sword, it's 130, which is pretty good shape. And we do see Quinn has found Rimmeldar, so he must have headed back in that direction too. cparsley's on the move now, but he'll have keys, and that'll leave just Scarletshadoww without. It'll be interesting to see when our heroes here get back to Tantagel and Garanham, which has a combined at least 7 chest checks, to see what pops up, because we haven't seen any of that yet. But all right, here we go. Angel's turn on the Wraith.
Try to sleep, it did not work. We'll try it again. No effect.
That burns. That's is that the second time he's died to that, I think?
It is, yeah.
And to see that, I think cparsley just got through it with the 2 hurt mores. Has to sting a little bit, but he's going to get his full key number here now, and we'll get to see what's in all these locations. Of course, we don't know what's underneath Tantagel as well. We haven't really seen... We've seen Mountain Cave, and is that it?
Mountain Cave and the Jerk, I think, is all I've seen.
Oh, right, yeah, he's just southwest of Tantagel, so there you go.
Angel's going to go back and check the treasury first. Maybe even go into the throne room to set up a potential gold grind. We've got an herb. We've got wings. Got some gold. And a torch.
That's this is your basic KFC there. Herbs, wings, and torch.
And they even give you change.
Oh, he wasn't supposed to rob the place on the way out.
Alright, we're going to check the basement here. It's Swamp South. So there is a spike tile here. Of course, Gwayland's here in the basement as usual. The Red Dragon could be fine.
Red Dragons are always scary in this flag set because they still have the sleep. Weak Breath is probably a little bit more inconsequential, but we didn't see it, so I'd be surprised if he checks the spike. I have a feeling he's just going to run through, but, you know, never know. He might decide to do a preemptive princess rescue if he feels this map is a bit funny.
Couldn't entirely do that. Maybe check to see what the spike tile is, but you're back through there. You have a potential of finding something if you go through maybe another town. We're certainly looking for Cantland. Hey, look at town! Hey, look, Cantland!
Well, there you go. So yeah, rescuing the princess early isn't going to matter a whole lot in this. And hey, a silver shield, not too expensive. I think that ends Angel FM's weapon and armor shopping for the day. We'll probably see a very quick check here of the coordinates.
Indeed, and actually having Swamp Cave so close, if it's a big count, he'll probably go back for Graylin immediately.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know about the spike being safe, but whatever.
Well, no searching today.
Oh, good. He double checked. He must have not realized. So that said, we know... oh, shoot. You know what that means? We have 3 key items. And the things we do not have explored now are Garenham, Stones, Tablet, and Grave. So that is 6, 7, 10 possible locations for 3 key items that we have to have outside of Charlock. That's crazy.
Does not check for radishes. Very disappointed.
Yeah, so it would take more than radishes to make Angel the crowd favorite here, though. I think he is used to being the heel.
He did check a Sparkle Bridge, however, earlier, so I'll give him a bit of slack.
All right, so the west side over here has nothing. He saw Cantlin, which gave him a silver shield, and that's about it. And then we'll see if there's anything left over here.
Scarlet now up to level 16, has the strength we want, potentially, has agility, has MP, 87 HP, it's not that far off, so we're probably looking at level 17 or 18 maybe.
And Scarletshadoww does get his key access as well, so now he is in key mode, and we'll see if he continues exploring or if he warps back. Again, we're still missing a decent amount of caves, but we know everything has to be on the first continent here because Angel found just Cantlin and a bunch of nothing on the second continent, and Cantlin itself was kind of a bunch of nothing.
So Angel's going to go at the back of Garenham here. We know there's a cave in the back. The only one that mightn't have anything is our trade-in. We've got an herb, we've got a Stones of Sunlight, not guarded by Treasure Guard. And we've got a Erdrick Sword.
All right, well, I don't know. See, if I'm Angel, I'm probably perfectly happy to see that, of course. You kind of wonder because different routing and stuff that maybe you could have gotten it earlier, but I don't think it would have mattered.
And there's a replacement key. Off to find more caves.
All right, it's you're looking for Grave. If you see Tablet, you pretty much have to dive it unless it's next to Grave, and then you can probably skip it if you really want to, and potentially save time, although probably not. I think you'd always dive it in this scenario.
Omega pointing out that a slime hit Quinn for 75, which would be a minimum of 186 AP on the slime.
Yeah, it's we've seen a few enemies with some power, but I think Hate 13 earlier was calling for the slime to be super nasty. I'm not quite sure that's what he was looking for, but you're not going to want to see that guy again.
Which means he's probably in Charlock.
So, cparsley's made it to the second continent, Scarletshadoww's made it to the second continent, Quinn's make it to the second continent. It almost feels like Angel's just a little bit ahead in exploration, but he has not quite seen what everyone else has seen, and he hasn't been able to get the armor out of Hawksness, which isn't going to be a major factor unless he runs into some heavy Hurtmore areas or has to go through a whole bunch of swamp, and even then I'm not sure it's going to matter much.
Scarlet's selling some items. Maybe wants to pick up a few Fairy Waters.
Oh, right. The armor was in Cole. I was thinking Hawksness he didn't beat, but Hawksness has nothing. So we only had one out of the 3 search spots active. That's not the most common option.
Whichever way Angel is heading, I did see Charlock just above him there.
Yeah, I believe that's Cole, so he will be getting his armor pretty quickly unless something goes terribly wrong with the Star Wyvern.
Was C Parsley in Mountain before? Because he just went in and noped out.
Yeah, I believe he was the first to clear it. Or no, he was second after Angel, but I think he's seen it already and didn't get anything, of course, because the only thing in there was a key, and he had already gotten keys from Rim.
Well, Angel's powerful enough the Star Wyvern ran away and just gave him the armor.
This is probably the wise decision.
Shall I confirm C Parsley was in Mountain at some point?
And we see QuinnPatrick using the flute as well. We've seen at least 2 flute attempts now. He's throwing out the Hurtmore and takes out the Golem, which is not really going to feel that great. I mean, 88 experience isn't bad, but I think you'd rather just not see them.
Poltergeist, not the worst, 121 experience and go down to a single hit.
Yeah, that's not really fancy either. So we're just looking for those last 2 caves, and if you asked me, like, hey, do you have any idea where they are? I'd be like, no, I really have absolutely no idea, because I feel like our players are kind of crossing the paths they've already been, and so there's some hidden secret area that nobody has been yet. I kind of wonder if it was past Sharlock, because I don't think anyone went all the way up to, give the big sea a kiss.
Well, Angel is currently doing that. Going to wander a little bit to the east. See what he can find there. Apparently Queen was grinding a little bit of gold, for the Silver Shield. Has now picked it up and warped back out to Second Continent.
We do
cave up here.
Yeah, there's your cave, there's your bridge, and what do you think? Guess. You got 5 seconds.
Oh, I've already seen it.
Oh, it's the harp. Okay, so... Which you don't have the harp, so it's nice, but it's not progress. You kind of want to see that one last.
Yeah, you'd like to have the harp before you go into there, so you don't have to go back. But it's near Sherlock, it's not too far away, from what I can tell.
And just a reminder, as we're all kind of looking around and everyone's still exploring quite a bit, both QuinnPatrick and Angel won their week 1 races, so they're in really good shape with 5 points. Both Scarletshadoww and C Parsley lost and finished last in their races, which with 1 point, we've seen people come out of 2 really bad starts to make the playoffs. I think last year Tristal went like 3 points going into week 3 and then won the rest of his races and still got like a 10 seed or something. So it's possible, but the pressure is really kind of on now.
Right, for Winter League, we have 4 players in most groups. First place will get 5 points, second place will get 3, third place will get 2, and last place will get 1. In any 3-player groups, that would be 5, 3, 2. Aaron, I'm sure you don't want to see Angel win this one, because you'll probably have to face him next week in the placing round.
I have some thoughts about that, but I'm not picky. I'm just happy to be here.
We've got a token up here in the top of Grave. Angel's managed to find it.
All right, token down. We don't see... Okay, so it's Deep Grave or it's Tablet, and he is not doing Deep Grave, which is kind of surprising. I wonder if there's something else he's missed, or that he hasn't seen that the rest of us have been thinking about, because I think all that's left is Tablet if it's not in Deep Grave. Oh, you're right. Hawksnest. Oh, shoot. That's actually going to be kind of bad if he has to go all the way back. It wasn't super far. And, speaking of that, Scarletshadoww was founded. It was just northwest of Sharlock. But if Tablet is the thing that's missing, that's going to be funny.
Omega thinking wolves they're hitting hard, they have high agility. Probably going to be in Sherlock. Yeah, that's a entirely good possibility. Scarlet is Diving Grave. And Angel finds out about the lack of anything in Hawksnest.
I mean, honestly, his decision made sense to me, especially when you already know one search spot is empty. You generally assume that 2 search spots are going to have something. I think that happens like 50% of the time. And to work back there to try to save a bunch of time, it just didn't work out. It was a heck of a play, though, to try to win a race. That's not necessarily the defensive finish as high as you can. That's a I want to win this race sort of move. So We'll see. He's going right back. I guess he is going to go to Deep Grave then. Or maybe there was still a little exploration over here that Tablet might have been in.
Yeah, I think myself, even if I had abandoned Grave, I might have looked a bit further to try to find Tablet. It seems he's going to dive Grave. I think we saw a set of wings in Grave 4 on Scarlet's side.
Do we have Quinn in there as well? I'm not quite recognizing the dungeon.
Quinn is in Mountain.
Oh, okay. And we know Mountain is nothing, so he'll be excited to find Dragon Scale and a key, I guess.
Just fairy water. Looks like we're going for Tablet. Or stones.
Yeah. Well, no, I think we've seen the Stones Cave. Yeah, that one was under Garanham. Scarletshadoww hasn't actually been behind Garanham yet, I don't think. I wasn't sure about that, but he just checked the screen and... Oh, wait, here's another town. We missed something? No, wait, it's just Breck.
Worth the name trip, I suppose. EMP, thank you very much for the raid.
I think Stones was a key or something. It was underneath Garanham, though, if I recall.
Yes, that makes sense. It was the replacement key, yeah.
So the best of my knowledge, at least the way that the people have been exploring, I think this is the only path that Tablet can be. So we'll see if Scarlet's able to get it. And if he does, then assuming he does warp back to Garanham... oh, no, there's a dead end. It's not that way. He did miss like a tile or two on the screen, but it might have been a cropping thing. Yeah, I didn't. He might have already seen it. So, okay. Well, Tablet, where are you?
Level 17 has some decent stats. Quinn not having the Erdrick sword yet. I don't believe anyway. It still has, yeah, Flame Sword. It's all green stats and everything except attack. Would be definitely worth trying Sharlock, but not necessarily what we need to get through it.
Right, and we do see Parsley picking up the token, so he's now on the board for key items. And yeah, where is the Tablet Cave? And when you're looking for whatever reason, Tablet Cave seems harder to find than other caves. I don't know why. It looks the exact same in the overworld, but when that is the missing thing, it just kind of stresses you out because half the time you're just thinking, did I screw something up? Did I miss something? I don't know.
Angel now checking areas that QuinnPatrick has just come out of. Quinn finds another dead end.
Yeah, see, Parsley is deep. Oh, there it is. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yep.
Just one random tile, and Tablet Cave should have the harp. Now, could there be a fun enemy guarding it? That could be a question. I'm trying to think if we had any treasure guard enemies that have been particularly scary.
Not that I can recall.
So maybe we'll get a surprise, or we'll get, nothing, which is probably the more likely result, which it is, and it is the harp.
Now, Scarlet's still missing the stones. Has the token, has the harp. Angel is only missing the harp. And Quinn should have more than we have highlighted, but I'm not sure how much more.
The bad news here for Angel was that he warped back. Scarletshadoww did not. Scarletshadoww might have forgot that he hasn't checked behind Garanham because he still seems to be looking, and he shouldn't be. He should know where everything is, but he might actually loop back. Now that I think about it, he hasn't cleared Hawksness either. Okay, well here we go.
And I find out now that Quinn actually didn't see the grave. Must have been lower on the screen, or up too high for him when he passed by it.
Right. Oh man, that's gonna hurt if that continues, and he might not go back that way. Now, Angel is just moments away from Tablet, assuming he goes north, and he did. So that explains why everyone had missed it, because they probably just went into Hawksness first, and either died or had something happen. So, man, you gotta hope that he finds that quickly. Like I would be first things first. I'd be rushing to get the harp trade in, but shoot, especially considering where it is, it's a gap on the map, like south of Hawksness, in northwest of Tantagel, and I'm not sure that he would have that would be a very easy thing to mismap and not have clear.
So now here's a question. We know the Death Necklace is in Sharlock. Do you go for it? Currently, we don't have the HP for it. Even Quinn at level 17 and Scarletshadoww, only 120 HP. You're going to want a minimum of 130 to really use it. But with Chaos Dragonlord,
I think, considering the enemies you've seen, I'd be thinking probably not losing more than one heal more short of whatever DL Dragonlord 1 might be. So I would kind of have that in mind, I think. And I don't know, it's really hard in very fast experience to not just push. And there, Scarletshadoww finds Garanham. Yay!
Right, so maybe in this case I'd not pick it up, but if Dragonlord 1 turns out to be something horrible, maybe go back and get it second time.
Yeah, it's I don't know, and we'll see what Scarletshadoww decides to do, because he could just run in at 17, not worry about the Death Necklace at all. I think he is already loaded up with Fairy Waters, so he's already thinking about going into win, and that might just be it. I also might be worth checking for the Fighter's Ring. An extra 2 attack power at 121 is going to be pretty big, but when you already have a bunch of Fairy Waters, it's a little annoying. But also, he's going to, have a couple open spots here in a moment.
So Angel, I believe, is the first to pick up the drop.
Yeah, Scarletshadoww right behind. And we'll see how their end games go here. He's healing up in town over here. Scarletshadoww exited Garanham instead of walking out, or used return. Looks like he's going to heal up in here, and then I think Sharlock is just a screen and a half away to the northeast, something like that. It's not super far at all.
See Parsley and Tablet now going to pick up the harp. Quinn and Garanham.
Yeah, there we go. So all cparsley's going to need to do is find them stones, which, again, are in Garanham and are pretty easy to pick up. If he has that in his mind, he should be able to do it reasonably quick. It's just you gotta be on that train of thought to get there. And I think we see both Scarletshadoww and AngelFM marching towards Sharlock.
Yeah, I believe that's the way. Scarlet did try to go directly north and couldn't through his big body of water there. It's a fairly long walk to Sharlock.
It looks like Scarletshadoww is using the Fairy Water Repel. He's turning the wrong direction now. He was sort of almost there, and I think he just is misremembering which way to go here. And shoot, now he's going to go back and reset the whole process again.
Angel used the Fairy Water as well to try to get through Sharlock. Stoneman does not get repelled, but it's a single shot to take down.
And yeah, the way Scarletshadoww turned was the faster way to get to Sharlock. They were both going the longer way, but he just seemed to forget where it was, and he was probably just 2 tiles away from seeing it on screen.
So far, the only enemy we've seen in Sharlock is a Stoneman, and it's so easy to take down at the current level. But we are coming up to that spike tile. It's a Druid. They were powerful.
And Angel is not afraid to throw out the Hurt More. I didn't see what they had for attack power, but if he's not, thinking that he's got a good chance to win this one, that seems to be the way to go. Just get a good read on how much, what it has, and I haven't seen him attack one. So anyway, we have Dragonlord 1 coming up, which again can be just as hard or harder than Dragonlord 2. So we'll see.
Scarlet coming around the corner as well. Does see a slime. We knew that was going to be in Sharlock, or we had a pretty good guess. Dragonlord 1 goes down really quick.
Quick, but he did have DL2 breath, so he did a little bit of damage to Angel. Angel just threw out the stop spell. That does cost him a heal more, but generally speaking, if they have any ability, it's definitely worth more than that.
Scarlet putting the slime to sleep, has to use some herbs. I don't think we've seen a sleep from Dragonlord yet.
No, but we have seen Angel do 36 damage to the Dragonlord in about 3. He did get a double there pretty quickly, but I think that's 50 now.
Depending on the HP the Dragon Lord has, this might be possible.
There's another double, 61 to 76.
Something took Scarlet out of Sherlock. I don't know what it was, but it got him.
Oh, yeah, it was a stone man, and that would be 87 damage. If this isn't on the lower end, I'm not sure if he's going to get this. It depends on, double luck. And I think, I lost track, but I think that was exactly 100 damage.
Wasn't chancing it on 42, and that's a good idea. Another double there.
The rolls are not great, but we do see the heal. Yeah, I think he's got it now. When you see the heal with that much MP left, I think you're in great shape.
For sure, especially if you get the Dragon Lord to cast a couple of heals. This is pretty much set. Another double there. And a triple. There we go.
All right, get your GGs out in chat, everybody, to AngelFM, taking down the Dragon Lord, finishing up the seed in what looks to be under 40 minutes, possibly. It's going to be really close, which I think might be our fastest one for week 3.
It would definitely be the fastest for week 3, as it hasn't started yet, but also the fastest for week 2.
Thanks. Anyway, that is a final racetime.gg time of 40:03. So GG's to Angel. And, as when that happens, we see Scarletshadoww is here again in Sherlock. Not just seeing Stoneman, although Stoneman were a problem last time. These wraiths are a bit of a problem too. So hopefully he can make it through, because I think as long as there's no misplays, that at the end of this seed is free.
There's a wraith here as well. We were repelling most of the enemies in Sherlock, if you bother to use repel. This druid can hit hard. 28 is not too bad there. Of course, Angel just took it down with a couple of herd mores. Queen about to pick up his staff.
All right, and yes, Scarletshadoww now starting his fight again. If nothing fancy or strange happens here in the first fight, we did see DL1 had DL2 breath, which we see there again immediately. But if this hit takes him out, yeah, you're fine taking that from the Dragon Lord, no big deal.
cparsley picks up his staff as well, so cparsley and QuinnPatrick pretty much on even ground there. Both a level higher than Angel and Scarletshadoww at level 18. Ooh, Parsley does not have Erdrick's sword, though.
No, I don't think he's checked behind Garenham. I'm pretty sure he's seen it.
Right, doesn't have the stones either. Angel, GG!
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. That was good.
Yeah, very quick seed. It's nice to see them every now and then, although we would prefer a bit more chaos.
I mean, there's the possibility of it happening. I mean, some of these enemies were pretty terrible, but yeah, just like only seeing the Stoneman and Sherlock, so I don't know if there's anything else, but I knew that I could just swing on the Stoneman, so I mean that wasn't an issue at all.
There was definitely a slime in there as well, probably more.
We did see a wraith as well, which Scarletshadoww was repelling and didn't block, so I guess that was just encounter luck.
Slimes with 221 AP.
Yeah, see, I mean, the slime would just be something you just swing at anyways. I mean, that's what I would try anyways, because I wanted to conserve whatever MP.
Yeah, for a while there, we weren't sure if you were going to have enough. The Dragon Lord was certainly taking quite the beating, but then we started to see the heal, and we kind of knew you were good then.
Oh, I mean, yeah, also when I swing, single digits on those heals too, yeah. It's a good thing I stop spelled.
For sure. I think you got a triple there at the end, maybe your quad.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. This was one that I felt like I was pretty sure I was ahead, and just I pretty much still ended up doing everything.
Well, I think that you and Scarletshadoww were actually pretty even for a long point there. In fact, I think he got the rainbow drop about 5 seconds after you did. He kind of got lost going to Cantlin or going to Sharlock because I think he'd only seen it from the side of Cole, and then he did not get through the stone man as easily as you did. He was trying to run and got stomped on.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like I said, I felt pretty good. I mean, the beginning was kind of meh, but everything else felt fine besides, again, just completing everything, because, of course, the harp had to be in Tablet Cave.
And GG's to Scarletshadoww, who did finish with a time of 43 minutes and 54 seconds. Just finishing up here a little bit ago. I don't think he did the early stop spell, but threw it out as soon as he saw it, and then there was no problem after that.
Both you and Scarlet finished on level 17. Quinn and cparsley are both on 18. Quinn is currently in the Dragon Lord 2 fight. cparsley is still looking for Grave, I think. Oh no, checks back if Garenham has got a sword and stones. Okay.
Oh yeah, once I saw that, 33 HP, yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try this now.
Right, well you have to try early enough so that you can get a bit of information, if nothing else, right?
Exactly. I mean, the only thing I saw on DL1 was just the DL2 breath. I don't know anything else about him.
I think that's all we've seen all around.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 75% and it wouldn't matter if he goes down in 2 hits.
I mean, I saw it and I'm like, okay, I will take this. I'm perfectly happy with this. Especially compared to what last night some of them went through.
Yeah, we've certainly had some interesting ones. This seemed to be the tamest I've seen anyway. And that's Scarletshadoww, GG.
Thank you, GG. That was definitely a quick start and lots of high experience monsters everywhere.
Yeah, that's another thing. Just about everything you were killing in that starting zone, the scorpions, the magicians, the axe knights even, they all had great amounts of experience.
Oh wait, you could actually get those enemies? Because all I did was get, dragon, dragon, skeleton, dragon, 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 dragon.
You gotta fight in the forest a little bit, man. Right when you start. That's where they all were, right by Tanagle. And then the goods ones were maybe like 5-8 steps north of Cole. That's where I found my scorpions.
Yeah, like like my final grind was just right outside of Tablet Cave, because the magician was there, the scorpion was there.
See, I never killed a magician. How much was it worth?
Like 2 something.
Well, that's too bad, because it was in the zone with the scorpions, and I would have jumped even faster ahead. I am curious to know, the first time that I died in Sharlock, how far behind Angel was I? Because I know I was behind at that point if he finished it when he did, but I know it was close.
Angel was fighting either the spike tile or DL1 as you were walking around the corner the first time.
Alright, sounds good.
What'd you end up dying to? Oops, sorry.
Slime. I think, no, Stone Man, actually. I run failed to Stone Man. He hit me for 88 when I had, I think 75 health.
So I knew about the Snowman earlier, because I was, trying to still find Tablet Cave, and I ran into Snowmans in the northwest, and I just swung on them, and they died in 1 hit.
I'm pretty sure I hurt Mortem all game when I found him, so I never swung on him. I don't think I don't know, I gotta check my, thing, but my number of attacks has to be horribly low. Yep, 47 attacks and 68 hurt mores for me.
Yeah, mine was only 22 hurt mores.
And we have QuinnPatrick here as well, GG.
Thanks, I don't know, that felt pretty good. 30 hurt mores if you're curious. 6 deaths. I don't know. I guess I kind of awkwardly grinded money to afford the silver shield when I saw it, because I only had 600 gold. And it took me a long time took me longer than it should have to open the back of Garenham, and took me a while to find the tablet cave, which was quite remote. But no, I felt like I played okay.
You did for sure. Maybe ahead on the experience for a little while. Angel and Scarlet went at level 17. And as for the tablet cave, I think everyone had an issue finding that. It's probably the last thing most people found.
Yeah, when Hawksness didn't have the harp, I just about fell out of my chair. I was like, where is it? Oh yeah, there's tablet cave is still out.
Yeah, I did. I found Grave. I found the token. I hadn't completed Hawks yet. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna outside and just go to Hawks and bet. And of course, it didn't work. So went back to Grave. Wasn't there. So I'm like, all right, we gotta find tablet now, I guess.
I think my journey took me around the outside of the world, and so therefore I was rolling around the top, and then I kind of lucked into it. For me, my mistake, or my sadness, was finding that and then having to go all the way back up to Sharlock to get to Staff Turn-In. And then when I went to Sharlock the first time, I went left and up thinking it would connect, and it didn't. It put me about a minute behind. So I would have been pretty close. But then again, dying in Sharlock does set you back.
Yeah, I only got 18. Like, I was totally prepared to go on 17. I only got 18 because just when I happened to run into something that I know gave good experience that got through my repel, I still killed it. And I guess I was just alive long enough for that to happen.
I'm interested commentators. Like, my strategy in this one, once I found high experience enemies, was to grind to near go level immediately and then try to repel the map. Did anybody else try to get as much as experience as I could early, or is everybody floating around everywhere?
I
Scarlet got a good amount. Angel actually decided to explore a little bit earlier. And also GG to cparsley, who has just finished as well.
Yeah,
I got antsy around level 14 is when I decided to go exploring, but like the scorpions and I don't remember what the other thing was around the jerk cave were really appealing.
Yeah, I mean, I only saw the Drakima. I did not see the Axe Knight or whatnot. I didn't see those till I went to Mountain Cave. So once I got hurt more, I just left and started doing things. And luckily, there are good enemies around regardless. It wasn't like you're looking for this one particular enemy. I mean, there's so many enemies that were 100 plus that it made exploring a lot easier to do.
Yeah, this might have been one where going to explore was early was smart because Hurtmore was at 7 and lots of things were giving good experience.
I definitely agree. I guess I'll have to watch it back to see. My strategy for this week was to try to repel the map. I know repelling in Chaos seems like a terrible thing to do, but in this particular flag set, I think it actually has value if you can get your experience up there early, because you spend your time killing things that are worth your experience and not fighting things that aren't. All those monsters that you hit with a sword 7 times and then they give you 4 experience, you don't even see them if you repel the map. So I'll be interested to see how close I was on this strategy. It also helps that there's nothing with DL2 breath until you get to the first Dragon Lord. So you're not going to get sniped unless something has super high strength, and you're going to know which enemies those are because they're the ones you're not repelling. I don't know. That was my thought.
I would like to celebrate that we had a valuable flute in a Chaos Seed.
Yep.
The golem was very strong, and the flute was in Throne Room. I saw flute in Throne Room, I was like, oh crap, we're stuck with it. But then the golem shows up and he's, punching for 50, and it's like, oh cool, I finally get to use the flute in Chaos.
No, I tried to sell the flute 3 times in Garenham, it didn't work.
But you did use it afterwards on a golem, so that was good.
Yeah, you were Scarlet. You were talking about the sitting down and grind and repel strat, and I was thinking about that a little bit because, I mean, comparing yourself to Angel, I don't think he had a lot of problem exploring, but he did have some trouble with Hawksness. Now we know Hawksness was nothing, but I think towards the end there, I think Angel, you noped out of Grave after the first 3 to rush Hawksness, and then it didn't have anything where I think everyone else when they got there didn't have any problem because they just had more hit points. So I mean that's something to possibly think about, Scarlet, but I don't know if that was a big difference either way. Like even watching the whole thing, I'm not sure which would the better strat would have been.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I just did more backtracking than anything else because I had to go back to Hawksness 3 different times. Had to go back to Grave. I went back to Grave twice. I had to go back to Harp Tournament for that. It's just there's just so much backtracking that I had to do.
Oh man, I see that slime up on screen, and boy, am I glad there were no coordinates in this one, because I don't know if I was ever going to get through that slime.
I got lucky and put him to sleep every time I saw him, because I run failed the first time and the sleep worked the second time. So I just stuck with that strategy.
I only saw him on the swamp spike where he killed me, and if I had gotten through him, I probably would have rescued the princess and wasted my time. So it was to my benefit, I think, that the slime slimed me.
Yeah, like I was telling about with like the stone man, this is the reason why I will swing on a bunch of enemies, because I'll try to find out what can go down in just one swing. So if something like that does show up in Sharlock, I can just swing through it instead of worrying about I need to sleep this or whatever.
And I think we have cparsley in here as well. GG.
Well, at least it's finished. Made the biggest mistake of my life. I always seem to find a way to make a new mistake each time. This time, forgetting the first town is the key town. I kept running around that map for the last 15 minutes before my mind finally ticked over that I've already seen Garriham because I thought I hadn't.
Very understandable. When you find a town that early, you think you've cleared it all, and then forget once you get the keys.
Especially since I got 300 point scorpions that were right next door that I used to jump up to level 12 quickly.
They were a favorite grind for sure.
Especially with all of our key weapons being $160.
Oh yeah, I noticed everyone that I watched, everyone that got to a town early ended up picking up the armor, I think, first. Because, of course, you're selling the cursed belt and only had 180, and I believe the flamethrower was 186.
Yeah, it was just over the 180 sell for the curse.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened for me, and I felt really good at that stage because I found Garriham almost immediately. First thing when I went out of castle, I just kind of did a wide berth around to see if there were any towns and found Garriham and grabbed that magic armor and saw the flame sword, and I was like, okay, I'm sitting good.
Yeah, it was the other way around. I went south first, then I went east second time. It wasn't until the third time that I finally went west.
Did everyone else dive Grave all the way?
I did.
I got 4 out of 5 and died while going to the 5th.
Okay, because I thought maybe that was my problem, that I did dive Grave all the way. I hadn't seen... I was going around where the heck is everything? Because I didn't have any of my quest items at that point when I did find the Grave. And I wound up going all the way down and not... Well, I found the stuff that was there, but if I had found the harp and the stones first, I would have, not gone all the way down. And I guess that was a pretty big time sink. But I hardly encountered anything. By that point, I was pretty strong and I was repelling stuff. So.
To be honest, in this one, I don't think diving Grave is bad because you don't have a search coordinate. At least I had found Cantlin before I found Grave, so I knew that there was no search. And I think I had 1 key item in the armor at that point, so my mind is, if I don't dive this now with how far north and out of the way is and I have to come back, that's even twice the time loss.
Yeah, I think that diving Grave was definitely a no-brainer in the position I was in, but I'm just in here kind of trying to figure out why I'm 7 minutes behind Angel. I thought it was a pretty smooth seed.
Hey, does anybody know where Rimmildar was? because I never found it.
Rimildar was down in the bottom island to the west of Sherlock.
Okay.
Yeah, that was how I got my keys. It was like on the edge of like on the very bottom of a peninsula, kind of, or maybe it was an island with a bridge.
Me too. I actually got that before I found the key in what was it, Mountain?
Yeah,
Yeah,
mountains.
I basically hit that, and went around and found Colm with the armor. But boy, I tell you what, that was kind of a relief, because the race last night, the 6 o'clock race, I actually played the seed along with them, and I gave up. Like, I did not beat that Dragon Lord. I don't know if you guys saw. Okay, it's a spoiler.
I actually commentated that race, so I know how long that went.
Yeah, so I was kind of feeling like, oh boy, I'm still kind of dreading week 5 because of that. Because, like, you can just get like a Dragon Lord that's just unbeatable. But this one, like, when I saw DL2 cast heal, I was like, okay, we're good. We're done.
Sometimes you get those. You find one of those races to watch. I remember last year Winter League on the Chaos Week. I think I was racing with Angel and Rye Guy and Tilo, and we ran into a horrible seed where I think Tilo ended up beating it like level 28 or something like that, or level 26. It was nuts.
Yeah, that was the one with. Yeah, that was the one with max agility, spike tile, max agility, DL1, and Tilo got through, and then find out that DL1 also has max agility and can't really swing on it.
Was it a droll on the spike in that one? I might remember that.
It wasn't a droll. It was a Drogon Lord. That's what it was. It was definitely a droll, and it was horrible.
Yeah, I think I do remember that. I had never played non-standard. Before this tournament, I'd only ever played standard flags.
So I guess my advice on that is watch a few races if you don't race first next week, and just see how different people try to get through stuff. I raced for reference just because there were different strategies for how everybody got through everything. You get a couple different things in your belt, and then you got stuff to try.
Yeah, I've practiced all the flag sets pretty extensively. But yeah, initially I was kind of, I'm not going to play standard flags, or I'm not going to play non-standard flags because I don't know all these weird flags. But then I tried the flag sets here, and I was like, wow, I don't know if I can ever go back to, full size map, no speed hacks, standard experience. So with any luck, I won't make the playoffs where it does get really bad. But
Bad? No, come on. You want to play these with no numbers.
oh yeah. We're going to big swamp, no numbers. Yeah, you guys can keep that.
Oh, I like that attitude. I always tell people, play Winter League for having 5 weeks of fun flags, and if you make the playoffs, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Suffering from
we're being
success.
punished for it.
All right. Well, as we're looking here at the end of the week, do any of you have you been looking at the week 3 flag sets? Do you have any thoughts in mind regarding them?
Oh yeah, I played a week 3 pickup race and got first place against DK and a couple other guys. So the second time I played the flag set, so I'm feeling okay.
Pick the right direction. That's all I gotta say.
Yup. Just guess the right stairs in Sherlock and you win.
Week 3 where strength doesn't matter as long as you can kill a spike tile. Week 3 where you might have a stair shuffle, you might not. It might be relevant, it might not. You won't know. It just depends on the scene. It's going to be nuts.
Well, there definitely will be a stair shuffle. It might be bad.
Stair shuffle is normal. It ain't price dated. It's on.
It's kind of like a spicy way of tri-stating short Sherlock.
I'm just saying that the stair shuffle may or may not be relevant because of all the different things that are there. It'll be relevant in Sherlock, but it may be relevant outside, or it might not. Because you're only trying to get enough to be able to get the princess to the Dragon Lord, it may not make a difference.
Very true. I'm looking forward to week 4 personally. I like that big giant map and routing.
Same here. That's my favorite week. I'm looking forward to it. I always love Vanilla Week. Although I have to admit, week 2 flags were fun to play. I played more practice seeds on this week than I did on any other in the past couple of years, just because I had a really good time playing it. It was just fun.
It is kind of Russian roulette, though, as we've experienced.
Yeah, but at least here you have at least some idea. You know what the abilities of the monsters have and whatnot compared to like what week 5 is going to be like.
Well, for me, I'm running out of ways to sabotage myself, so sooner or later I gotta have a good one.
Well, and again, week 3 is position round, so your group is not randomized. It's actually determined by your point total. And so if you had a couple of bad weeks, week 3, you're going up against a couple other people who've had really bad weeks, and gives you a chance to kind of slingshot back. Or quite the opposite. If you've had 2 really good weeks, you're going to be put in a group with a bunch of other people who have, and good luck.
Yeah, I mean, I get Aaron, and he's had a lot of bad weeks, so
Yeah, it's nice. I don't think there's any chance that we're not facing each other next week. I know we can have 5 people with 10 points, but I think our tiebreaker scores put us both in group 1 for sure. Enough about me. Yes, so we do have a race tonight. It is a vodcast from earlier this week. The Group 10 race between Stags 28 Big Slamu and Yakko Echo 20. So stick around for that. Any last thoughts from anybody else?
Sure. I'd like to thank everybody who's doing the tracking, the restreaming, the commentating. I wish I could contribute more, but my life is too busy to do so at the moment. You guys are awesome. We couldn't have all this fun, entertaining content if you guys weren't putting in the volunteer hours to do so. So thank you much.
I would just like to admonish Archfield for not rolling a 2-hour seed. Now I don't have anything to do till Z1R, so kind of ruins my evening.
I'll have to sentiment that, because if there was a 2-hour seed, I might have been able to come back quicker.
I would like to encourage people to set up more Dragon Warrior races, just so that our number of races can catch up to Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. We're about 13 or 14 away.
Well, once the league is over, the pickup races, I'm sure will pop back very, very quickly.
Maybe after this we'll have to do a Heart of the Monsters tournament instead of Heart and Card.
The question is, which game involves more RNG?
Ooh.
Depends on which Forbidden Memories category we do.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so with that, I think we're gonna right over to Ragai. Actually, he's playing DQ11 on the Switch, I believe, the 2D version. Yeah, we're gonna do that, and don't forget our podcast tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern. So for myself, my co-commentator Aaron to you 2, our restreamer Archfield Monk, our tracker Shihali, and Omega Strip. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in a few hours for another race.